Welcome to the next episode of Monday Mindset Matters. These quick meet-of-the-moment episodes offer you some tools and biblical encouragement to help you, the Christian educator, no matter what role you have on campus, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up so you can be the light in the middle of this trauma-responsive movement. So, let's get right to it.
Welcome to the Society's Child podcast, where we have real conversations about being a trauma-responsive educator in the midst of a significant mental health crisis. Hi, I'm Trish Senzak, a former educator, compassion advocate, and Jesus lover, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Are you feeling confuzzled about your students' behavior and needs? You're not alone. If trauma-informed strategies leave you wondering, what's next? Don't worry. My friend, I've been there too. As a foster mom and a child of complex trauma mixed with my experience as a teacher, it's led me to finding a compassionate, whole child approach that's evidence-based, practical, and transformational, and I'm so eager to share it with you. Whether you want to connect with your students on a deeper level, create a trauma-sensitive environment, or you just need a little bit of encouragement or support, you're in the right place. So grab a drink, a pen, or your earbuds, and let's work together to create a safe and student-attuned trauma-responsive school culture. Society's children need you, so let's get started.
Teaching is a calling, but I bet if I could imagine how you might feel, some days it probably feels more like a battlefield. We may be teaching and not even sure that we feel called to that particular thing we're doing. But my friends, I want to offer you this scripture, Hebrews 10:24 in the Amplified Version, and it reminds us, "And let us consider thoughtfully how we may encourage one another to love and to do good deeds." So this is a reminder that even in those hardest moments, we're called to lead our classrooms with love and a thoughtful, encouraging approach. So when the writer of Hebrews was talking to us and penning these words for us as Christians, he was speaking to a community at that time that was facing a lot of persecution, a lot of struggle. And he was encouraging believers to uplift one another. And I think we can really relate to this as educators. We may not face persecution the way they faced persecution back then, but a lot of times teachers, we feel persecuted in a lot of things that we do, right? We feel attacked, we feel demotivated, we feel devalued. But certainly we face challenges that mean something to us as individuals. So it's when we're facing these difficult moments and these difficult behaviors, we really want to stay trauma-informed and stay in the mindset that we're using our SEL strategies. It's when we're facing these difficult behaviors that we can feel defeated and we don't feel like using those strategies. But this scripture, it calls us to thoughtfully consider how we're leading, telling us to put thought into it, thinking about how we're facing forward and how we're leading with love and how we're inspiring good in those we serve. And right now in the classroom, the kids that are sitting in front of us are the ones we're serving. And we're really called to even serve the ones that test our patience the most. Now, being trauma-informed, sometimes it really calls us to understand the why behind the behavior. If we have a disruptive student sitting there who might be crying out for stability or safety or understanding, their behavior certainly doesn't seem to point to that, right? And this is where Hebrews 10:24 might challenge us to really take time to think and thoughtfully consider how we might encourage that student rather than to react or bring them down, beat them up with our words, or be sarcastic. This is where we have to thoughtfully talk about and think about how we start to build trust and creating a space for connection. For example, here's 3 strategies that you can take away for today. And if you've been around here listening it for any length of time, you'll hear me talk about a lot of this on previous episodes, but I'll briefly refer to them today. Number 1 is to respond with a calm, sensitive manner. When a student acts out, you can remember, I am patient and thoughtful in fostering kindness and understanding. You can say that to yourself to try to gather your thoughts in that moment, count to 10, and respond with a calm sense and a calm reaction instead of a harsh reaction.
Hi, friend. I wanted to pause right here and just take a moment to ask you for a special favor. If you are finding anything helpful in this episode or any previous episodes that you've listened to, would you pause right now, go into the Apple Podcast app, scroll down to the bottom of the show, and find the leave a review button. It would be awesome if you would take a moment and follow the show and do this. There are people out there just like you looking for this information, and this would help the algorithm get this into other people's hands, and it would be helpful for them as well. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's one of the biggest favors that you can do for me. I appreciate you and thank you in advance for taking the time to do this. So let's get right back to the show.
Number 2, we can see the need behind the behavior. So you ask yourself, what might this child need from me right now? Or what are they not getting in their life? And then you affirm yourself and you ask God to equip you and say, God equips me to inspire hope and growth in every child I encounter. Not just the really good ones, all of them. The ones that are even challenging me. He equips me to inspire hope and growth in that child also. And then number 3, model those good deeds. Show grace and consistency even when it's in your face and it's hard and it's difficult and you're having a hard time with the unruly behavior sitting in front of you. I encourage you to remind yourself the love and encouragement I give today, it's going to plant seeds for tomorrow, for future transformation. And you want to be able to help that child get through this moment and get to a place of growth. These small trauma-informed practices with SEL principles that we're given, if we can offer that self-awareness in ourselves, we can model that for the kids. If we can offer empathy for the kids, we're modeling that for them. We're not only doing that, we're doing some relationship building along the way. And ultimately, this is reflecting Christ's example of love and patience for us, even when we fail. Because we're not always gracious and deserve the best behavior and response from Christ either, correct? So if we think about this, we can work with our kids and we can display the type of response and relationship building that we can give them by being the example that Christ wants us to be. So a couple more affirmations that I want to encourage you with this week is to just tell yourself that the love and encouragement I give today plant seeds for future growth and transformation in your students tomorrow. Choose to respond with grace, seeing potential in every child. And I'm encouraging you to be patient and thoughtful so that you're fostering an environment of kindness, because if you're kind to the kids and understanding with them, that fosters that type of calm, compassion-centered environment in your room. So again, my friends, Hebrews 10:24 isn't just a nice thought. It isn't just something that we say to ourselves, oh, I'm just going to do this. It's something we have to act on. So when you're tempted to give up on that challenging student sitting in front of you, I want to remind you to remember, God doesn't give up on us. He equips us thoroughly as teachers who want to consider how we can bring out the best in others. Say to yourself, I am called to encourage my students with love, even in their most difficult moments. If we can let that sink in, it would be through these SEL strategies and this trauma-informed movement that we can experience and show God's grace and His guidance and live into His guidance. You're not just managing behaviors, you're using relationship skills to build lives. So my friends, please let this scripture inspire you to lead with love and patience and the belief that your efforts matter and that what you're doing today matters for tomorrow. These kids depend on it. I'll see you on the next episode, my friends.
I hope you found something encouraging and inspiring in this episode of Monday Mindset Matters. It is my hope that these episodes meet you right where you are, because your Monday mindset matters. More importantly, your mindset matters all the time. Remember, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up. Our kids depend on it. Hey, amazing educators, thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave a review. Even better, share this episode with a colleague. And hey, I'd love to connect with you on social media. You can even join my Facebook group for some extra support and a dash of inspiration. I've left all the links in the show notes. Until next time, my friend, Remember, you're not alone on this journey. You've got this. Keep making a difference and stay teach-tastic.